Hello, I'm Adam from Untitled Motorcycles and I'm here today to talk about this Moto Guzzi V50 Mark III. We were given it by a guy called Joe who wanted us to restore it and customise it. He was given it by his father-in-law-to-be who had kept it, I think, from new and ridden it a bit, but then left it in his garage for about 10 years. So he wanted to bring it back to life but keep some of the original parts. So, for example, this headlight at the front is the original headlight. He didn't want to change it into something modern, he wanted to keep that part because it's a very nice flat looking headlight and it suits the bike really well. He also wanted to keep the Speedo, the original Speedo on it, because it is a lovely looking Speedo with the blue colour. What we did first of all was actually get the bike into the workshop and look at it together with the customer Joe and see proportions of the bike. How we were going to shorten the rear end to match the front end. The wheels, I always think, is a really important thing to start with. What sort of tyres? Put these classic Conti Attack tyres on it, which I think works very well with the Cafe Racer look. If we look at the front end, he's not going to ride this in the rain ever, so that's why there's no mudguard on the front end. He's going to keep this for a Sunday best ride, gentleman's ride, that's what he wanted it for. So the ace bars were perfect for it. He didn't want to put clip-ons, he wanted to use the top yoke and the original mounts. We chopped out the little bit that usually on Moto Guzzis they have a solid mount, so we just have it so it looks very clean and neat. He wanted to get rid of the original switchgear because they were too clunky. As with a lot of Moto Guzzis, the electrics are quite difficult to work with. So we put on these lovely posh switches. So the starter button's there, high and low beam on this side, and then we come over to the other side, horn and indicator left and right. The indicators are the tiny Moto Gadget versions. So if I turn on the bike, you can see how bright they are. They might be very, very small, but they really show up very well in even the brightest of daylight. The tank on Moto Guzzis can be quite bulbous and quite chunky, so we always put a black line there to slim down the tank. The paint was done by Black Shucks Customs, and it is a lacquer over the raw metal. Joe, who is a big cigar fanatic, I'd say, he wanted us to do something different to this bike, and so we added these little tubes for cigars. So when he's riding and he's stopped or he's parked up somewhere, he can pop these on and off, and there's cigars will be inside it. He also came into the workshop on a regular basis to help us build the bike. So for example, he made the brackets to hold up the brake reservoir down here. He also turned these foot pegs on a lathe, and he wanted those to match the sort of the goldy bronze colour of parts of the bike. He's going to take pillions on it occasionally, so the seat length allows him and his wife-to-be to fit on the bike quite comfortably. We used Hagon shocks, sort of classic looking ones there on the back. And the other thing that Joe is heavily involved with, he's a designer and runs his own design company called Prod Designs, and he's really into 3D. So these velocity stacks are 3D made. So he made ones as a test first in plastic, and then he got these metal coated. So they're very, very strong and they work extremely well. We've also used a traditional stoplight from a Vincent on the back, which I think matches the rest of the bike in its sort of classic look. The silencers are not too quiet and not too loud, but I will start the bike up in a minute so you'll hear how loud this one is. We stripped the whole bike down to its bare frame and welded and chopped and grinded off bits and pieces that weren't necessary. The whole engine has been stripped and cleaned. The internals have been changed. New piston rings, new valves, new guides. Everything was sandblasted or vapor blasted to get back the engine to its nice clean look. It has a very small battery underneath the bike. It's an anti-gravity battery, which works extremely well on, well, it's a V50, so it's not a massive engine, and you can get away with a very small battery on this. So it's hidden away right underneath the bike down there. And now let me show you what it sounds like.